So for this recipe, we're looking at doing profiteroles. Now, profiteroles is traditionally a French pastry made from a choux pastry, and profiteroles we fill with a custard cream and then we top with chocolate. So it's very similar to the chocolate eclair, but this time we're making little puff balls essentially. Okay, so what you need to do is have your butter and your 1 cup of water. You're going to put them in a saucepan to boil. Now, it's important that this is boiling, and it's important that you follow these steps carefully. Otherwise, you'll find that your profiteroles just won't work, and you'll end up with really flat profiteroles that don't rise. Okay, so at the moment, mine is coming to a boil. If I lift it up for you, you can see that it's at a rolling boil, okay? So what we need to do is take it off the heat, so sift it through. And then we're going to stir it in off the heat, and it should start to form a ball. Okay, so you can see there that it's starting to form a nice ball. Once you get to that point, then I want you to put it back onto the heat, just on really low heat for about 2 minutes, because what we need to do is heat the flour, or heat the starch in the flour, to break open the starch molecules so that the starch can absorb the egg mixture once we start to mix the eggs in. It's important to let it cool before you add your eggs into it, otherwise your eggs will cook. While your profiterole mix is cooling down, you can continue on with your cream custard. So what we need to do is we've already mixed our custard powder with a little bit of milk. Now that it's mixed in and we've gotten rid of all of those lumps, then we can add in our milk, our vanilla essence, and our sugar. So they're going to just go in, mix it through. Once it's all mixed together, pop it straight into a saucepan, and we're going to heat that until it thickens. Once it starts to thicken, then you can change to a wooden spoon, and you can see there now that it's nice and thick. We're just going to put some cling wrap over the top and pop it in the fridge to cool. Now when you do this, make sure you push the cling wrap down to the top of the custard, because this is going to stop crystallization happening on top of the custard, and it's going to also help to prevent a skin forming on top of your custard. Once your profiterole is cool to touch, you're ready to put your eggs in. Okay, so you need to first of all whisk your egg, and we're going to add 1 egg at a time. So 1 in, a good mix. So now my egg has been mixed in, so it's kind of fairly gooey, but it should be strong enough to hold its shape. So once you've got to this point where all of your egg is mixed in, then you can get yourself a piping bag, or you can spoon profiteroles straight onto your baking paper. I'm going to pipe mine, and I'm using just a basic round nozzle. So just squeeze down, and then a nice little flick. And you can go along and flatten those with a spoon later if you'd like. So squeeze down. If you don't want the little peaks on top, just pat it down. And they can go into the oven. All right, guys, once you have done your profiteroles, then the next part is making the custard fill. Give it a good whisk with a wooden spoon before you add it in, because we want to try and give it a little bit of a smoother consistency again. And then we're going to fold it into the whipped cream and icing sugar that you should have done. All right. So I might just start with half. Grab your spatula and just fold it in. Okay, so with your profiteroles, what you need to do is find the base of them, and you're just going to cut across into the base of your profiteroles, and this just helps to open up a little bit of a space to be able to push the piping bag in when it comes to putting your fill in. So once you've got the hole, then you can put the piping bag into the base and just squeeze to fill up the profiterole. Okay, just do another one to show you. Poke it all the way into the piping bag and fill with cream. Once your profiteroles have been filled, then we can do the fun part, which is dipping them in the chocolate. So you can do it one of two ways. You can just dip it straight into the chocolate, or you can spoon it on. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to dip mine. It's easier. And just put it onto your plate. Put them in the fridge, let them set, and then once they've set, then you can plate them up with some cream or with some strawberries or with a raspberry coulis.